I broke up with my boyfriend after he told his friends about my private therapy sessions. My boyfriend Jake and I had been together for over 2 years. We started dating in high school, and I really thought he was the one. He knew everything about me, or at least I thought I could trust him with everything. Last year, I started going to therapy for anxiety and depression. It took me months to even admit I needed help, and telling Jake about it was one of the hardest things I'd ever done. I remember sitting in his car after my first session crying and explaining how scared I was. He held my hand and promised he'd never judge me for getting help. I told him things I never told anyone else. About my panic attacks at night, about crying in therapy sessions when talking about my parents' divorce, about how sometimes I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. He always seemed so understanding and supportive. 3 weeks ago, we were hanging out at his friend Connor's apartment with like 6 of his buddies. We were all just watching a movie and eating pizza when Connor made this joke out of nowhere. He looked at me and said, "Hey, don't start crying on us like you do in therapy." Everyone laughed. I felt my stomach drop. I never told Connor anything about therapy. I barely knew the guy. I looked at Jake and his face went completely red. He wouldn't make eye contact with me. I excused myself to the bathroom and just stood there trying not to have a panic attack. When I came back out, I grabbed my jacket and told Jake we needed to leave. He knew something was wrong but didn't say anything until we got to my car. That's when I asked him what Connor meant by that comment. Jake started stammering and saying Connor must have overheard something. I knew he was lying. I asked him directly if he'd been telling his friends about my therapy sessions. He finally admitted it, said he mentioned it once or twice. Then it turned into him admitting he'd told them way more than that. He told them about me crying, about my medication, about specific things I talked about in therapy, stuff I only told him in private, vulnerable moments. When I started getting upset, he had the nerve to say I was overreacting, that everyone vents to their friends, and it's not that deep. He said his friends were asking why I was acting weird sometimes, and he was just trying to explain. I told him he took my most private struggles and turned them into gossip over his friends, that he betrayed my trust in the worst way possible. He just kept saying I was being dramatic and that I should calm down. I told him to get out of my car, that we were done. He looked shocked, like he couldn't believe I was serious. Started saying we could work through this and that he didn't mean anything bad by it. For the next week, he wouldn't leave me alone. He sent flowers to my house with a card saying he was sorry. He texted me like 50 times a day saying he made a mistake. He even showed up at my work trying to talk to me. He kept saying he only told his friends because he wanted them to understand me better and be supportive. But here's what really got me. I found out from a mutual friend that Jake had been telling stories about my therapy sessions at parties, making jokes about the stuff I cried about. His friends knew details about my childhood trauma, about my relationship with my mom, about everything. My private pain became entertainment for his friend group, and he acted like I was the crazy one for being upset about it, like I should just get over it because he said sorry. It's been 3 weeks, and he's still trying to get me to take him back.